Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's movie blog. I am the critic who is the cynic. How's everybody doing? Let's see. In Disguise, me cough cough. What is up In Disguise? How's it going? E-Boy, first person. No, you were not the first person, but still you were one of the first persons. So welcome to my channel. Once again, it's a trap Productions. Hello, how's it going? Neapolitan, what's going on? Neapolitan, that's such a great name. Tina, I knew he'd do this. I didn't know how long the parent-teacher conferences would take. The PTC, as it's in the video description, and luckily didn't go very long. Actually went very, very well. Had some very good discussions, and so overall, pretty positive night. Probably one of the most positive nights I've had at a PTC. So very happy for that all around. Cobra Kaiser Soze, what's up? In Disguise says, making a lady wait, bad move. Oh. Well, I am sorry. Well, I am sorry indeed. Michael SKU, what's up? Shawhands here, what's going on? I just responded to your message on the Discord. Dion, what's going on, Dion? How's it going? Greta, what's going on? Hey guys, can't be on long because I have an early work day tomorrow. Well, so do I. So I probably won't be on for too long either. Probably like what I did last night, where I'll go a little past 9 o'clock, try and get, you know, around about an hour in on this low council. It showed for me, it was, says E-Boy. Well, you weren't. Dion says APC all the way, by the way. Okay, so the one I sent you, Dion, is that the one that you said all the way? Because I was reading some one-star reviews, and it was like things not working correctly. And I just want to make sure before I spend that kind of money that I'm getting something that's going to work. So please just let me know about that, Dion. I'll look for your name in the chat. Pagan says, can only stay for a few. Got to work in 6 hours. Well, damn, Pagan, you should go to bed. You should go to bed. Frank, what's going on? Hot Pop Pop is on the High Council. Yes, indeed. That's awesome. Wait, Doomcock's on the High Council? That's awesome. When am I going to get invited to the High Council? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Doomcock's awesome. But seriously, I'm throwing shade their way. That's what Trav says. My lord, how are you doing? I'm a little tired, but happy to be here. I am tired as well. Again, I was at school from 7 a.m. all the way until 6:30 p.m. Ruts, 6:40 p.m. So almost 12 hours. So it was a very, very long day for me, but I'm doing okay. Cobra Guys, so I said, I'm truly happy you are out there, especially on a night I can be too. Awesome, Cobra. Definitely glad to have you here. Definitely glad to be an alternative to the High Council, but not a replacement of the High Council, because the High Council is awesome, and I love the guys over there. And I really hope one day they can bring me on. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. Tina says, yes, I was watching Mead and was heading over to the High Council. Well, I'm sorry I subverted your expectations. I'm sorry I subverted all your expectations. Chadwick Dupre Wickley Snow. Well, that is quite a name. What is up, Chadwick? How's it going? How's it going? And this guy says, too bad Carrie will not be alive to see her star. Should have done it long ago. And I agree. And there's some people, like, I already see some comments saying, oh, not to be the person, but, you know, what else did she really do? And you can't just take away the fact that her character, her role in Star Wars was so iconic that you can't. It's one of those things where, yeah, you have other people who've maybe put years and years and years building up characters, but when you have one as iconic as hers, but also she did other things. She did things in television. She did things behind the scenes. I actually, I mentioned this in my video. I went to go see her. I got to see her on Broadway doing her show, during her stand-up show, and it was phenomenal. It was fantastic. Michael says, you pronounce it as Skewif in word form. I know, man, but yeah, I just felt like spelling it out today. So Michael Skewif. Michael Skewif. Tina says, tomorrow is Doomcock's first anniversary on YouTube. He's going to celebrate with 2 live streams. Holy crap. Holy crap. 2 live streams, and you know he's going to be streaming for like 16 hours, man. It's going to be crazy. Dion, High Council's on. I'm out. Really? Did I just start? I thought that they weren't doing it. Like, I checked at 8. I'm like, oh, they're not on. Maybe they're not doing it because Jeremy's out, but apparently they are. So, oh well. Oh well. But glad you're here, Dion. Dave Bob says, hello, Geeks and Gamers. Whoops, wrong channel. No problem at all. I'm affiliated with Geeks and Gamers, so it's actually appropriate. It's actually totally appropriate. Cobra says, from 2006 to 2008, I worked at Jimmy Kimmel. My sources say Captain Marvel is a big worry for them. Really? Oh, interesting. How could you work for that guy? He seems like such a word that I really can't say, but a tool would be a polite way of saying that, because he's such a tool. So let me know how your experience there was. But yeah, man, inside sources, you know what? I'm not surprised. That it should be worried. They really should be, because not only is the film itself potentially problematic, but the media surrounding the film has already kind of dovetailed any kind of momentum. Tina says, don't be subverting my expectations, all father. My head's already about to explode from all the Star Trek Discovery garbage. Star Trek is more messed up than Star Wars. What else has happened with Star Trek? I've not been following that news, so I can only imagine it's gotten crazy. Yeah, she was in a lot of movies, Shawhan. She was in movies and television especially. Dion says, I say look for an APC with a high star count. All right, Dion, if you have one available, please send it my way. Tina says, and he bought a little Johnny Walker Blue. It's going to be interesting. Oh, boy. Drunk Doomcock is going to be interesting. Debbob says, hello, hello, hello. How's it going? Extra Trop says, I love that you sang when you were on Geeks and Gamers video for that list video. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate that. I'll try to hold it out as long as I can. I think that eventually I'm going to, gonna break some records, Dion says, no, I don't know for sure. I'm here, and I say, okay, all right, cool. 70B, I knew it. Yes, indeed. There she is. Frank says, yes, our Pop first year anniversary and our dad and mom 8-year wedding anniversary. That's awesome. That's so cool, Frank. So cool. Hybrid says, what's up, my brother? Glad you streaming. I'm glad I'm streaming too. I honestly didn't think I would because of everything going on with parent-teacher conference night. I didn't think I'd have the energy. I didn't think that I'd be in the mood, and I didn't think I'd have a lot of time, but apparently I was able to get a video up. So go check out my latest video if you possibly can, or at least put it in your watch later list, because it's a good one, I think. It's all about Carrie Fisher and how much love we have and should have for her. Cobra says, I hated it, and you're right. They didn't like me because I'm Jesus, so I left. Nice, Cobra. Nice. Stay here, says Dion. Tina says, you'd need a spreadsheet to sort it out. Star Trek is split up between too many companies, Viacom, CBS, Paramount, Bad Robot. Doomcock did a video on it today. Holy crap. Yeah, that's a lot of hands on a product. That's a lot of chefs in the kitchen, some might say. CW says, at this point, we could see a collapse of various fun franchises, possibly sellouts of salvageable ones, and maybe some set on a long hiatus so they come back. You know what? I really do think they're at that point, and Star Wars, I feel like, is on the cusp of that, because we saw Solo. It lost $200 million at the box office, and now we're looking to Episode 9, and it's not looking great. Again, it looks like they'll be profitable, but it's not looking like it's going to be another billion-dollar film. Again, based on trajectories, based on the fact that you look at the downward trend of all their films, it just does not – there's just not enough there to be able to support them actually making over $1 billion for this film, because then you'd have to say, oh, it's going to make more than The Last Jedi, and The Last Jedi was the last major film that came out, and because it was so bad, it's going to leave a lot of people at home at this point, so – Hyper says, Odin, did you hear Warner Brothers in talks with James Gunn to hire Meg for Suicide Squad 2? Batista also wants to join. I did. So apparently someone mentioned that to me earlier. That was Adam Shawhan actually messaged me on Discord, and he mentioned that EVS had talked about that. Ooh, that's, you know what, though? For DC, I will say this right now. For DC, good. Go ahead. Hire the guy. Hire the guy, because you know what? At the end of the day, he will probably help you more than he will hurt you. Because as toxic as his name might be, as many people as it might piss off, at the end of the day, they are so bad. The DC universe is in such bad hands, they might need someone like a James Gunn to actually produce a good film for once. I'm sorry, but I think it's one of those things where it's like, nah, I still don't like the guy, but for them, we'll see what happens. Nemesis says, how do I get a star on the Walk of Fame? Do stuff in Hollywood. And sometimes who you do stuff with matters as well. I don't know. I have no idea. Greta, you'll need about $30,000. That sounds about right. Shinfield, what's going on? Justice for Carrie. It's not fair that Carrie's last movie was The Last Jedi, but we'll always have the interview when she called Rian Johnson an a-hole. Yes, we will always have that, and we will always cherish it with our hearts, because Carrie Fisher was nothing else other than a straight shooter, always kept things real, always kept things honest, and that's why we missed her and loved her so much. But yeah, absolutely agree. She needs a star. She deserves a star. And, I know it might be a small thing to a lot of other people, but at the end of the day, if you're already giving stars to people who probably don't really deserve it, give it to somebody who does. Give it to somebody who did a lot for the industry. Whether you think so or not, she really did. I mean, just when you break down her character and how iconic her character was to the history of film and the history of women in film for that matter, you really just can't ignore it at this point. Shawhan says, the way I got to keep up with on the info special when you're at work, buddy. Yeah, seriously, Shawhan, you got to keep up and, get me in on these things. Tune me in. Bring me in on all the news that I'm missing. Adam Shine says, you know the way... Oh, sorry, gotcha. Cobra Kaiser Jose says, James Gunn is actually Katie Lang in Horrible Disguise. Cobra, dude, that is so correct. When you put those two next to each other, they look almost exactly the same. It is so crazy. Super Anime Gamer. Hello. Hey, how are you doing today? I'm doing great. How are you doing? That's the real question. How are you doing, Super? Welcome back. Always great to have that name in here. Nemesis, too. Nemesis is never in here, so I'm so glad to see Nemesis' name in here. Hope you're doing well. Hope work is going well. Hound 3000, hello, Hound 3000. Nemesis says, Carrie deserves a star just for her nun role in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Oh my goodness, yes, Nemesis. If there's any role, that is a great role. And also, not a well-known role for her. But let's go back in time to Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. She plays the person in charge of group. She plays the person in charge of trying to facilitate fathers and sons getting back together. And even though it's so small, she is still fantastic, even in that small role. But the Jay and Silent Bob one is just fantastic. It's so good, especially seeing her as a nun. Greta says, I think nowadays they're giving stars to people too early in their careers while they are popular. I agree, Greta. I agree. I think it should be over a lifetime of roles, a lifetime of service to the acting community. I think that Carrie Fisher easily fits that bill without any doubt. Brad Noble, we need to start for the Blues Brothers. Well, Brad, you know what? You could just go away. We got Green. Lightsaber says, your channel is promoting Democrats on the ads. Wait, what? How is that happening? How do I change that? Why would they put Democratic ads on my channel? That makes no sense. Something tells me that a lot of people that watch my channel are not of that ilk or don't care about politics. That's interesting. How do I change that? Dave says, have you all seen the picture of Pecker Spock? No, I have not seen that. I have not. I still need to see Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Please do. It is so good. CWD says, do you know the way of the ring? Says Ugandan Bilbo Baggins. Yes. So good. Super says, I'm doing well, thanks. Enjoying some much needed downtime after a busy last couple of days. Glad to hear it. Glad you were able to come here to let off some steam. Nemesis 08 says, Hamill got his star just for his cockknocker role in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Yes, absolutely right. Oh my goodness, cockknocker. Oh, so good. That whole movie is fantastic. That whole movie is absolutely fantastic. How'd you get that name? Oh, well, it's actually a funny story. Absolutely fantastic. While I have a little bit of a break, let me go ahead and give a huge shout out to the patrons, to the ones supporting this channel every month, and are just amazing people all around. And those people are Adam Shawhan, Castellan Fry, Dave Bob, Donald Hudson, Edward Coleman, Enrique Evangelista, Frank, Greta Z, Harold Francis, Inflamed Wood, Jay Clark, Jamie Christopher, Jeffrey Toon, Laura Story, Matthew Kadish, Mr. Peabody, and his evil twin, Perpetual Punster, the DJD Show, the Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan. I know I said it, but that's okay. Those two ball guys, Tina B, and Voorhees67. You are all my patrons, and I love you guys so very much. Thank you. All right, let's see. Greta says, I think the political ads are equally Republican and Democrat videos. I got both for the same channel. Really interesting. Why am I getting... I mean, I guess some people could see me as political, but... That's kind of odd. Cobra says, this fan base is so loving and intermingled is in a pure sense. It is because of your great soul. Thank you. Seriously, Cobra, thank you so much. No, really, we're all people from different walks of life. I mean, I remember I got into some conversations with people. We don't agree on everything, but we are still a community that has one thing in common. Not only a love of movies, but also, for a lot of us, a love of Star Wars. Because obviously, this is where the channel has had a lot of focus, where this channel has had a lot of attention, is on, the focus on Star Wars, what's going on in Star Wars. And so, yeah, we share that common bond with each other. Even though we might not agree on everything, we can have good discussions. That's why I love the voice chat. It's great. Hybrid says, Frodo seriously didn't know the way. He really needed Ugandan Knuckles. If Knuckles wore the ring, he would have been corrupt. He wouldn't have been corrupted. That's so true. That is true. We got Green says, vote for Dems every time YouTube blows. I know, seriously. Seriously, it's like, how about you just keep all that nonsense away from my channel? Thank you. Tina says, I get Star Wars ads. That's about as bad as a political one. Oh wait, don't tell me you get one for like Resistance, because that sounds absolutely like torture. I do like how the video I made critiquing the Aquaman trailer, I got a video ad for the Aquaman trailer. I thought it was fantastic. Nemesis says, I tweet Kevin Smith and Hamill begging them to bring Cockknocker back. So funny. Oh, man, I wish. Kevin Smith, by the way, very nice person to meet. Again, I mentioned this on the channel before. I met him when I was 19 for my 19th birthday, and he was great. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We love Odin Frank. Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Dave Bob says, somebody needs to get that boy to the barbershop. You talking about me? I look fine. I look great. I look great. Cobra Kai Soze, I love Kadish. What a great guy. Kadish is awesome. Dude, Kadish is fantastic. Kadish is one of the best. Greta says, the ads are probably because of the elections coming up. Yes, that is very true. But I usually think that the ads are supposed to be connected somewhat to the content. But who knows? I guess I come across as an alt-right conspiracy theorist. Edward Coleman says, just got out of class. What did I miss? Edward Coleman, 17 minutes in. We're just catching up with the chat. We're just talking with people. We're just hanging out. We're just chilling. Just chilling like some villains. Michael says, Star Wars is a shadow of its former self. I agree. I absolutely agree with you there. I really do think that Star Wars needs to go in a new direction, and just jumping off of what was said before by someone else, I really do think that there will be the time when Star Wars is no longer the big franchise that it is, and it might have to go away for a while in order to come back. And hopefully they do it right. I cannot wait for that time to happen. Frank says, because YouTube sucks, we love Odin and his awesome beard. Oh, well, thanks, Frank. I appreciate that. Yeah, YouTube is not very good. And because I said YouTube sucks, I'm probably going to get demonetized for that. But it doesn't matter because I'm all about, you know, connecting and talking with you guys for the most part. So, but when getting on to that, though, I still appreciate every single one of you being here. So thank you. Hyper says, try to collide the Death Star and Sauron's tower and you get an earthquake as bad as Ruin Johnson's fart. Nice. That's awesome. Nemesis says, Kevin Smith is half the man he used to be. He's probably lost 100 pounds since his heart attack. You know, he really has. He has definitely taken care of himself in a little bit. Dave Bob says, not you, Emo Spock or Pecker Spock, as I like to call. I got you. I hear you. I hear you. CWD says, Ugandan Star Wars and New Ebola. Super says, based on what I've seen, ads are based on a few things: viewers' location, viewers' search history, and the actual content of the video. So yeah, search history sounds a little bit more accurate in condition, or rather in brain fart, guys. In addition to the content of the video as well. Nemesis, I hope D&D trilogy is based on Revan and the Old Republic. That would be sexy. That would be very, very sexy, Nemesis. You're absolutely right about that. Kegger, what's going on? Evening all, Father. You get dem ads because we're all Russian bots. That's right. We're all Russian bots, and they know that is the DNC. It is the Russians and the Democrats that must work together. Richard Rich says, I find the political ads to be informative. I didn't even know that Ray was on the ballot for Supreme Leader. Yes, Rich. Yes. Ezra Trap says, I think The Mandalorian is the last chance for Star Wars to make a big impact on the world. If it fails or if it is marred by the same complaints as The Last Jedi, Star Wars might be shelved. I agree. I definitely think that the Mandalorian has a lot of potential, especially because you've got some really, really good hands behind the project. I really do think that there's definitely a lot of potential there. However, that's on the streaming service only. I don't know how they're going to be able to bring themselves back to the big screen, though. Super says, I'm guessing people are seeing more political ads though, because of YouTube's political leanings and all those go vote initiatives floating on around. Yeah, I mean, every time I see that too, like that is a left-leaning organization. The whole go out and vote thing. If this was anything else, if this was about anything else, then it would not be as pushed. It would not be pushed nearly as much. Even like the apps that I use sometimes, for example, even Discord has a register to vote thing, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's a 2018 election and that there's, people who are political and are part of one side of the political aisle more so than others. Richard Barrett, welcome to the channel, but I think that's some very good analysis. Super says, little do they know they inspired me to vote against their party. I know, right? I know, right? That's why I like to vote against. I like to vote against everyone. I like to pick the underdogs. Those third parties. Nemesis says, but what do I know? I'm just a botting over here in Russia. I'm just a Russian bot here. Oh, yes, I just chill over here, everybody. Mary, what's going on, Mary? How's it going? Frank, as C-3PO always said, we are doomed when it comes to Star Wars. Yes, that is very true. Mary, Hypern, in transgender voice, I have a problem. Favreau is a white male, and he shouldn't direct and change the Mandalorian character to a woman. I don't think that the Mandalorian should be played by a white male because it implements this sense of white privilege and understanding. Yes. Nemesis says, go out and vote, but F you if you vote against what we want. I know, seriously, Nemesis. I can't tell you what I want. I might drive half of you away, or maybe a third of you away. No, I actually do need to look at our ballot because we don't have just representatives running, but also we have got a lot of ballot measures and ballot initiatives, and I like to be involved. And that's something I always would say. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for or anything, but I will say if you don't vote, go out and vote. Even if you don't want it, you can abstain from voting for senators and president and all that stuff because I understand why you would not want to do that. But local measures, especially like local ballots, that is where you have more of a voice. That is where your vote can easily change the dynamic. You becoming active can have a positive change. And so, again, vote local, vote on ordinances, vote on, ballot measures, and I would even say representatives and local authorities because you have a lot more control over them in the long run. So, take a swig of vodka. Conrad, yes indeed. I will indeed partake this. Lando says, searching for feels got me a lot of time in prison. I bet it did, Lando. I bet it did. Mike says, we have to be tolerant, the museum tells us. Frank says, have you heard from Jeremy? Is he still meeting up with you? I don't think so. I put that in the message on Discord, but I know that he's rushing to get back to Florida, so I'm not going to talk. Whatever he wants to do, he can do. I don't want to stop him, though, because I want to make sure he's able to get to his family because I know that this storm is not looking very good. It looks like it might be a Cat 3 by the time it hits, and it's very, very dangerous because it's going to hit very, very close to where he and his whole family is. Super says, like Uber and Lyft are offering free rides to local polling places. I'm half tempted to use the service. I just like giggling when the driver was there. Yeah, I know. And again, I really do think that it's not trying to actually boost the vote, but instead is politically motivated. That's just my own thought about it. I have no data behind it, but it just seems right. And this guy says, it doesn't matter if the Mandalorian is female. What matters is the character's story well written. And this guy, you are absolutely right. Unfortunately, though, we have this constant trend of them choosing characters because of their race and gender for the sake of choosing them because of the race or their gender, not because they want to give us a good story, unfortunately. Harvey says, vote for KK to get fired. Definitely. Nemesis says, vote for whoever Chuck Wendig is against. That's a pretty good philosophy. Chuck Wendig is crazy. Guys, by the way, I found the shirt that I mentioned in my last video, and I bought it. I don't know if it's legit. The company tagged me on Twitter, and it had like 2 followers, but it had a site, and I was like, okay, seems legit. The prices, seem about right. So I'm hoping that thing comes through over the next week or so because, man, I cannot wait to wear a Chuck Wendig face on a shirt with a, if you're not blocked by Chuck Wendig, you're doing something wrong. So, yeah, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Cannot wait for that to come in. Cobra says, I wonder if Kathleen Kennedy will kill off Lando with an obscure female. Probably. With everything going on today, probably. Shine says, do you know why it is historian? Because after 10 years, I got a job. And the universe is like, no, you mustn't work anymore. You must take care of the weenies. Tina says, yeah, Jeremy was going to drive straight 30 hours, which is so dangerous, but I understand him wanting to get home. No, seriously, I agree. Yeah, 30 hours is dangerous, but especially when you have that motivation, I'm sure he's going to be coffeeed up and, taking care of himself as best as he possibly can. So, Lando lawnmowers always press charges. Kegger says, in Jeremy's Q&A today, he said his family's evacuating to Louisiana, and he's meeting them there. Oh, Kegger, okay, so maybe we might meet up after all. We might meet up after all then. Tina says she has friends. All right, well, hope that they're safe. Jason Clark says, not going to stay long, not feeling very good. Just wanted to stop by and give a thumbs up. Say hello. Jason Clark, thank you so much. Always great to have you stop by. Thank you, good sir. Nemesis says, man, I love to slap Wendig. I think a lot of people would love to do that because he deserves it. Super says, I'm kind of conflicted on voting. I know it's important, but my state is really one-sided, so it makes... Well, Super, that again, you need to get out of that headspace of it's just the state. Again, you can still vote in your local county elections, and those do have a direct impact. Less people vote in those elections would mean that your vote does actually count and does matter in those times. Again, not just for political parties, but for also ballot measures as well. So I would say, I understand, if you don't want to, if you want to abstain, again, if you saw Trump and Hillary, you say, I don't want to vote for either of them, okay, fine. You can still vote on the down ballot measures. You can still vote on things that are more pertinent to you, that affect you on a direct basis, more so than all this nonsense politics where they're all essentially the same in the long run anyway. So I understand where you're coming from, though. Mex, Welcome, good sir. Welcome back. Great to have you here. Edward Coleman says, I'm only voting for Russian operatives. Yes! I'm only voting for Russian operatives. It is the only way I can stay feel. Shinfield says, have you seen the news of the train wreck in the making that is Charlie Angel's reboot? Seems bad. It was a reboot that never needed to happen. Even the first reboot was like, and then they kept making films, and I was like, now they're doing this, and I'm like, and I just don't care, and I'm terrified because it's all garbage. It's all bad. Hybrid says, you know what would make economics a fun subject at school? If Thanos was a teacher, he'd be like, overpopulation must be stopped by... No, not even by snapping. He would just say, overpopulation must be stopped by... Boom! And then it's solved. And then he, like, brings them back just so that he can do it all over again. Because guess what? Why not? Why not? Take a crazy chance. Richard says, I'd like to Wendig slap Mark Wade. Nice. Super says, didn't even know about the hurricane hitting the southeast. Hope everyone's doing all right. Yeah, I'm going to be fine. It's going to be similar to the last storm that came our way. We're going to be on the dry side. In fact, it's even further east than it was the last time a storm came by this way. So we're not going to get anything. We might get a little wind, maybe a little storm surge, really nothing. Definitely the panhandle, though, is going to get battered by a possible Cat 3 storm. So definitely keep everyone there in your prayers for their homes and their properties. They're already apparently getting flooding because of the storm surge that is coming up. So definitely keep them in your prayers going forward. Let's see what we got here. Mr. Peabody, what's going on? Greta says, what is the movie? Not this weekend, but next. I'll finally be able to make one. Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, I had to figure out your question first. So this coming weekend is going to be The Shining. The weekend following that is going to be the Bela Lugosi Dracula film. Tina was able to rig the vote in her favor, and so we'll be watching a true classic, universal classic monster film. Super says, wasn't the first Charlie Angels reboot the one by the brilliant director McG? It was, which is why it was at least bearable, but it was just unnecessary. It was silly. Nemesis says, we need the Crow reboot with Jason Momoa. I don't know. I don't know about that. The Crow, maybe. Jason Momoa, I don't know. Mex, have you seen Venom yet? No, because I'm so far behind. I failed you all. I have failed every single one of you. Patrick says, have you heard the news that James Gunn has been hired? Yes. So yeah, it's something, a question was asked about this earlier. I have heard the news, and I said that I'm kind of mixed on this because as much as I think it's dumb that he is getting hired after all the nonsense that he's done, at the end of the day, DC has nothing to lose. DC is already doing trash at the box office, so you know what? You might as well bring in a guy who knows how to write a comedy, who could probably give you a decent film, market the hell out of it, and, you know, maybe try and not focus as much on James Gunn as you would on other elements of the film. And maybe it will do well. Maybe we'll finally have a DC film that actually hits it out of the park. That'd be great. That would be fantastic. Because I don't want DC to fail as much as the DC fanboys think that I do. Because I care. Because I care. Nemesis always says, forgot to ask you about what you thought about A Star Is Born. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. One of the best movies of the year. You know, Lady Gaga's great, but she's not the story. The story there is Bradley Cooper. He just knocks it out of the park, not just from his acting, but from directing, from writing. Everything that he does in the film is fantastic. The music is wonderful. The cinematography is beautiful and so well crafted. So I loved it. I really did think it was great. Sunny B says that Star Wars dad said his family is in the direct line of being hit. Oh, well, guys, please do reach out to them. See if there's anything that you can do. Obviously, prayers are going to be very much appreciated, I'm sure. Hybrid says, Odin, in your opinion, if the MCU were to have more stakes, do you think it would be good if, let's say, they shifted from the Disney to another company like Fox? Well, sorry, excuse me. Well, honestly, I think, you know, if there were more stakes, I honestly think that in the grand scheme of things, when you're talking about the Fox characters that are going to be coming over to the MCU very soon, when you should do is you should finish the current phase you have, and then in the next phase, open it up to bring in these new characters. If they think that they can just get everything behind Captain Marvel and that she is the linchpin, she is the thing that's going to hold everything together, they're probably going to be in for a rude awakening. Now, I could be wrong, but most likely, based on what we've seen and based on what we've heard, it's going to be a big just flop as far as, again, not a flop of a film, but a flop of a character choice to have be at the center. But let's say instead they make it an ensemble piece, because that's what it's been from the very beginning. It's been about ensembles, not one character being better than the other. And that's why I'm like, oh, they're going to central the story around her. Why do they do it? They have not centered the story around any other character. All the movies have been them working together. So that is the perfect way to start the new phase, by bringing in new characters and having them work together. That's my own thought about it. Greta says, my friend told me Venom was good. Yeah, I've heard mixed things. So, and based on the audience critics rating split, I think you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. And I'm sure there's an in-between there somewhere as well. But yeah, I'm going to wait to hold my own thoughts until I actually get the information. Oh my gosh, guys, y'all are actually knocking me back in the chat. This hasn't happened in a long time. Cracking a cold one with the boys production. What's up? The Crow doesn't work without my boy Brandon. I agree, Kraken. That's the reason why I don't need it. I don't need a reboot. I really don't. CWD says, the scariest movie to see, Attack of the Eye Creatures. It's so bad that creator did not care. Ooh. Bella Lugosi, Mary is excited. Mex says, I saw Venom earlier today and definitely enjoyed myself watching it. 4.25 out of 5, especially with Tom Hardy's performance. Okay, all right. Well, Mex is one of my oldies but goodies who hasn't been around a while because he's been busy. But dude, I'm glad to hear that. Definitely looking into that. Edward Coleman says, people need to realize that local elections are more important to your community than the nationwide or presidential election. That is absolutely true. Again, there obviously are certain things that can lead to there are definitely national stories and national elections that can have an impact, but I will say that the most important things that direct you most directly are indeed those local elections. So, Edward Coleman, you're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right, and that's why I wish more people would vote. And it's not like you should vote. Most people, when they say that, especially the campaigns, they meant you should vote for president only, but in reality, it's like, no. You should vote for your local politicians, your local concerns, because those affect you directly. And also, it's from there that you're able to branch out and eventually make change happen. It's very hard to make change at the higher levels. It's a lot easier to slowly over time infiltrate and change. So, oh, well, thank you. Thank you for blessing me after my sneeze, guys. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you. Hyman says, the most annoying thing is when some DC fans keep saying, oh, you're just a shill. That's why you didn't like it. I mean, the Dark Knight trilogy was freaking awesome. They did see that too. Or did they seem to forget? No. Hyman's absolutely right. Like, I was critical of Aquaman, and they said, oh, you're just an MCU shill. It's like, no, I've been critical of the MCU films before too. And I'm critical and praiseworthy of of the DC universe films as well. The problem is that they've only had really one good DC film, and that was Wonder Woman, and even that one wasn't perfect. It has nothing to do with the DC characters. It's just the movies that they're making. Kegger says, don't give Bradley Cooper too much credit for Star is Born. He had 4 previous versions to draw from. Yes, and I understand that, but still, he was able to modernize it and was able to craft with the cinematography, because he did direct it. He was able to craft a very beautifully told, well-shot film, and so that's the reason why I do give him a lot of credit. Michael says, do you think it would be a good idea if Warner Brothers just started making standalone superhero movies that set in their own universes again, like Batman 89? I think that'd be cool. I mean, I think we already kind of see that going on in another area within the DC universe, where we have this standalone film with the Joker. I think that is a great idea. I think that could actually work out very well, and I would actually I would like to see that. I would like to see one-shots. I would like to see movies that are not going to be a giant franchise. I think that could be a good thing. So I definitely would be down for that, because then you could actually bring in different actors, tell a different story, because it's under the understanding that it's the only time that you're actually going to see it. Tribute commentaries. What's up? I owed Suicide Squad 2. Can't wait. Ambivalent. The first one was not good. It's all right. It wasn't good. It wasn't funny. It tried too hard, and it just didn't work. So I hope 2 is better. Mech says, sorry for not being around lately. School has to come first. I agree, especially when I'm studying, and I've been sick for the most of the past week. Mex, again, we do miss you, but we understand school is indeed so much more important. Frank says, to me, DC Animated is so much better than DC Film. DC Animated is knocking it out of the park. Like, if you want to have a debate between Marvel Animated and DC Animated wins that every single time. And that's why when people say, oh, you're just an MCU shill, well, then why do I say and admit that the DC animated universe is good, is better? It's because they have selective hearing, and that unless you love everything and take it as it is, you are a hater. You're just a hater. You just don't understand. You just don't understand. DC has been tainted. Your image has been tainted by Marvel. It's like, no, they're just not good films. Shitfield, please say how many here are hearting for Tom Hardy. Too dirty? No, I think that's fine. How many people hearting for Tom Hardy? Huh? Give me a thumbs up if you are. Eric Hot Gaming, what's up? I felt like in Suicide Squad, Will Smith wasn't playing Deadshot. Instead, Deadshot was playing as Will Smith. Yeah, seriously. It was Will Smith in that movie. It was not Deadshot. It was not Deadshot. And then all the other characters were just there and just all over the place. All over the place. Michael, have you seen Batman Gotham by the Gaslight? It is set in Victorian times. No, I have not. No, I have not. Oh boy. Swig for the working man. Thank you, Dion. Appreciate you. So Tina and Mary are both on board with that. Stephanie is a huge thumbs up. A separate Marvel universe could work, Patrick. I think so. Especially since there's certain actors that aren't coming back. I would much rather them do an alternate timeline where it actually makes sense that a different person or a different actor portraying a character could work. I really do. Kegger says, which DC animated series is better than the X-Men from the 1990s? All right, we'll see again. I'm talking about modern-day DC films. I mean, X-Men 1990s was good. I would even say Batman. Oh, I got one for you right now. Batman, the animated series, is the best animated series of all time. Fight me. Pokefan, I finally caught up on Ant-Man and the Wasp. 2 questions. Who is going to get Scott Lang out of the quantum realm, and compare Wasp trailer to Captain Marvel trailer? Smiles. Okay, yeah, so I thought that the Captain Marvel trailer was awful because it was definitely heavy-handed. You know, Ant-Man and the Wasp, I thought it was a fine trailer, and then the movie ended up delivering and doing a very good job. As far as who's going to get him out of the quantum realm, I don't know, but it's going to happen at some point. And my theory at this point is that the quantum realm is going to be a reason why not only he didn't disappear, again, Lang didn't disappear, and I think that the healing particles might actually be a part of the process of being able to reverse, at least partly, everything that they do. Mad Max, yes, then no, Mary, with a thumbs up. Frank says, yes, the Killing Joke, Attack on Arkham, Jaladoom, Flashpoint, Under the Red Hood, oh, yes, all dark. Batman Beyond, yeah, Batman Beyond as well. So, again, all the ones that he just mentioned. But, again, I always go back to Batman the Animated Series because that is one of the best animated series of all time. Not just superhero, but just animated series in general. All the time. Mary says, love Tom Hardy is in Taboo. I really want them to make a second season. He's in a series? I had no idea. Brad Noble says, I'll thumbs up that and add Justice League animated. Okay. All right. As I said, animation-wise, DC is doing very well. DC has much better staying power when it comes to their animated films. Harper says, you know that I'm not complaining about, but how come some aren't complaining about Venom being lighthearted, but when it comes to Spider-Man, he must be flipping dark like he's Batman or something? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure about that because for me, Venom is dark. Venom should be dark. I don't understand why that's the case. And for me, Spider-Man should be lighthearted. So I don't know why there would be any confusion there. Michael, thank you so much for the €2 super chat. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. You're awesome. Michael, you're the best. Michael is the best. Michael's number one. Michael is the best. Michael number one. Thank you, sir. I really do appreciate it, man. Tina says, Tom Hardy, Tom Hiddleston, Ryan Reynolds, my version of Charlie's Angels. Oh, man. Now, that is something that we need. We need an all-male version of Charlie's Angels. That's what we need. Charlie's Demons. I'm telling you right now. Copyright Odin's Movie Blog, October 9th. Fight me on that. Frank says, yes, I agree. Was just showing out some others as well as Batman, and love the Adam West cartoon they did too. Oh, yeah, Frank, absolutely right. Absolutely right, dude. And I appreciate you for providing more evidence to take down that case. Cobra, nobody likely agrees with me. I want a properly done Moon Knight flick, my personal favorite. Yeah, I don't really know much about that, so I'm sure there's some people who would agree or possibly disagree. And Michelle Pfeiffer as Charlie. Yes, dude, imagine that. Like, I know some people might, there's definitely some people on our side especially who would say, oh, no. But you know what, though? That would be a good remake. I'm telling you right now, you got 3 badass actors, and then you have Michelle Pfeiffer. That cast alone sells me on it. I know it's a reboot, and I hate reboots, but you know what? That is one that is being done so different that it is indeed wonderful. It is indeed wonderful. Kegger, happy Rusev Day! Yes, indeed. Happy Rusev Day to everyone here. Mex says, I had to pay money to see a Charlie's Demons movie. Seriously, man. Charlie's Demons, all-male cast. Michelle Pfeiffer. Ooh, that's a great casting. That is great casting. Brad Noble says, we are getting an all-male version of Charlie's Angels. What is that? CW says, we need an all-droid version of Charlie's Angels featuring C-3PO, L-337, and Bender. Oh, and Bender could just be destroying L-337 the whole time. That would be amazing. That'd be fantastic. Tina says, hot guys. Michelle is beautiful. I hate reboots too, but I'd pay to see that. Tina, I'm right there with you. I would pay to see that as well. I would absolutely pay to see that film. Hyman says, I just want to see a unique film like V for Vendetta, not typical, third act clash fight, and adding more of a boring plot and generic villain. No, I agree. I definitely agree with you. Edward Coleman says, we don't need men in any more movies, only women and minorities. Yep, that's pretty much what it is. Oh, you see, that concept that we just came up with, even though it was a joke, would immediately be shot down because of what? Because the three leads are male. Even if you have Michelle Pfeiffer as being the one that's the boss. So stupid. So stupid. Welcome to my madhouse. What's going on? Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, Gerard Butler. That could be good. Kraken says, have you seen the trailer for the movie Vice? And what is your all-time favorite biopic? I have not seen that. Biopic? I loved what's the full name of the film? Into Darkness, the one that came out about Winston Churchill. I thought that was great. That was splendid. I was amazed that a Hollywood production company made that film in today's world, with everything, with all the negative connotations towards the guy. So I would say that's probably one of my modern day favorite films for sure. And I've not seen Vice. Not seen Vice. Mex says, instead of L337, we should have HK47 instead. He'd provide the comic relief while he blasts organic meat bags to slag. Mex, yes indeed. HK47 for sure. Michael, Michelle Pfeiffer is the best depiction of Catwoman ever. Yes, even better than Eartha Kitt and Julie Newmar and Lee Merriweather. Ooh, interesting. No, I thought she was great for sure. I love that movie. I love that movie so much. Greta, Darkest Hour. Thank you so much. Darkest Hour. Yes, Darkest Hour. I love that film. I love that film so much. It was so good. So underrated. Thank you. Peabody Super. Yeah, Greta, thank y'all so much for that. That's Twilight, man. Screw Twilight. Mary says, he's in an amazing series he wrote with his dad that takes place in the 1700s that deals with China Trading Company and the British king and government way. Cool. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Frank, Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, and wait for it, Matt Damon. Yes. Matt Damon should be in everything. Actually, you know what? Screw Matt Damon. I'm done. I'm over with Matt Damon. Matt Damon's stupid. I don't like him anymore. I don't like Matt Damon anymore. Howard says, from my perspective, Dark Knight is the Godfather of superhero movies, Logan is the T2 of superhero movies, and Infinity War is Empire Strikes Back of superhero movies. Dude, I like your comparisons. I think they work. I think that they are all awesome films, and I agree. I agree with that. Greta, Matt Damon is everything. Yeah, Matt Damon is in everything. It's true. I will say what. I laughed my ass off when I was watching Interstellar, and all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute, that's Matt Damon. Why is Matt Damon in this movie? And then he was in Thor Ragnarok too. It was fantastic. Mary says, no, Idris Elba for everything. Idris Elba. Put that man into that mix. Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, Idris Elba. Boom. I'm sold on that. I'm sold, egg nest and tree. And Deadpool 2, that's right. Oh, man, he was under so much makeup for Deadpool 2. I can't believe he was in it. And Brad Pitt was in it, too. It's hilarious. It's so great. Poga fan, Michelle Pfeiffer is the best Catwoman. Halle Berry is the hottest Catwoman. No, Halle Berry was awful. The trash of Halle Berry in that film, I just can't get over. Shinphil, we need some HK47 in the DD trilogy, but by all means, only that way the kids of today will know what a real badass droid can be in a Star Wars film. Yes! Even from just like the clips, the cut scenes from that game, I love that character already. Eric Coleman says, Michelle Pfeiffer is the hottest woman ever in a leather costume. Ooh, Eric Coleman laying down the fire. Laying down that sweet hot fire. Hybrid says, I kind of miss Wolverine now. Probably my favorite comic book character of all time. Hugh Jackman nailed all of it. Yeah, seriously, me too. I don't know what they're going to do without him because he was the perfect Wolverine, and I'm definitely sad that he's done too, but we'll see what happens. Cracking says, Daredevil Season 3 is going to put Netflix shows back on the map. It looks like the perfect mix of everything we've seen. Bullseye likes absolutely amazing. Looks absolutely amazing. Cracking, I cannot wait. So what, it's like a couple weeks away now. I cannot wait for Daredevil Season 3. It's my favorite Marvel show on Netflix, and it's fantastic. Super. Halle Berry's Catwoman is a film I cannot unsee. Seriously, I wish that I could scratch it out of my memory. Unfortunately, I can't. Kegger says, had to double-check that pic of Kristen Stewart from Charlie's Angels reboot. It looked like there is a thing in the middle in the new Terminator 3 promo picture. Oh, that promo picture. Let's not talk about that. I kind of still hope that that can be good somehow, but that picture does not give me any high hopes whatsoever. Yeah, Michael, don't ever see the Halle Berry one. It's a waste of time. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. That woman won an Oscar. Let's just put that into perspective. Halle Berry has won an Oscar. Oh, this world and skies. Haley was a terrible Haley was a terrible Catwoman, but she did look good doing it. All right, that's your personal preference. Yeah, Catwoman was so bad. Mex says, I decided on the perfect role for L337. That droid can be the Kenny of the Star Wars universe. That way they can blow up again and again and again. Oh, Mex. Dude, I want someone who has animating abilities to do a faux South Park episode with droids and within the current Star Wars just to have that happen. I would love to see her get destroyed over and over and over and over and over again. Michael says, Halle Berry won an Oscar for the Catwoman. No, she didn't win it for no. Let's be very, very. She did not win it for that. I believe she won it for Monster. I believe that was the film that she won it for. She did not win for Catwoman. She won a Razzie that year, I believe, or she was at least nominated that year for Catwoman. I think she actually accepted it too. Tina says, who won an Oscar? Oh, right. Halle Berry did win an Oscar the same year. She won the Raspberry Award for Catwoman. That's right. It was the same year. That's correct. Cracking says, are you going to review Titans this Friday? I have my DC account for Young Justice Season 3, but I have to watch Titans. I have no interest in watching Titans at all. So no. Monsters Ball. That was it. Monsters Ball. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, she won for Monsters Ball. Still, I remember seeing it, and I was like, not Oscar-worthy. Political. Pokemon says, Halle Berry's costume, Catwoman, only works as a poster. I agree with the movie's straight trash. Hyper says, RTD2 should just harass and electrocute L3 to shut her up. Could you imagine? Everyone in theaters like, yeah. It would be like a screening of The Room. Just people yelling at the screen, throwing spoons. Super says, remember the kids, whenever your boss is found out to be an evil and tries to kill you, just find a random cat to breathe green smoke on your face to resurrect you and give you cat powers. Yes, that is true. Welcome to my man. That says, Michael Keaton and Michael B. Jordan, Michael Caine, and Michelle Pfeiffer. Okay, that's a very different type of movie, but I see where you're going, and I like it. I don't know why you put Michael B. Jordan with Keaton and Caine, though. That's kind of an odd mix. That's a very, very odd mix. And this guy says, Brie Larson won an Oscar as well. She might get a Razzie for Captain Marvel. The cardboard face. I know, seriously. But I will say, her Oscar was definitely deserved. Room was fantastic. Greta Monsters Ball came out in 2001 and Catwoman 2004. Oh, okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for clarifying and for fact-checking me. But anyway, she did get a Razzie for Catwoman. Monsters Ball, she won an Oscar for in 2001. Brad. Eric Coleman says, double feature Halle Berry's Catwoman and Battlefield Earth. Good lord, dude. I don't know if I could sit through both of those films. I really couldn't. That would be absolute torture on my end. And everyone else that would join me in that would be absolute torture. Would be absolute torture. Kraken says, who is worse, Eisenberg's Lex or Miller's Flash? I hated Ezra Miller as the Flash. Ooh, Eisenberg's Lex is worse. It's much more annoying. I agree. Miller's Flash is definitely not the best. I definitely have a lot of criticism when it comes to his portrayal of the character. But at the same time, he's not as bad. He's just not as bad as the other. I'm sorry. Hyperman says, no excuse for Brie Larson to be Stoneface. Even Smog, Gollum, and Thanos had CGI expression. Good lord. Sweaty Dread says, the loss of Carrie Fisher is almost as sad as the loss of the door shoe. Sweaty Dread, I know what you're talking about. Rest in peace, door shoe. That door shoe has helped us so many times not to have to prop the door open for so many people, and it's gone forever. Greta says, gotta head out. Have a good night, everyone. Greta, you have a good night as well. I will not be on for much longer. Max says, has anyone ever read Battlefield Earth book? I have not. Welcome to my house says, because one diversity to be Michael B. Jordan in every time. That is true. That would be funny. That would be funny. Yeah, that's true too about Charlize Theron for sure. Super says, I still haven't seen Batman Returns. Saw the movie on TV when I was a kid, and Pfeiffer, especially DeVito, close to terrified me as a kid. I could see that. Man, DeVito as the Penguin alone was very, very creepy, and it was very good too. I like the first one more. I like Batman more so than Batman Returns, but they're both good. Kraken says, Eisenberg sexually assaulted a man with a Jolly Rancher in that movie. Hashtag me too. Kegger says, Battlefield Earth and Catwoman sounds like a better watch party than episode 9 opening night. Man, that's what we should do. Instead of opening night, dude, for opening night, for episode 9 opening night next year, we should totally try and pick like some of the worst movies that have ever come out to make a point saying, yeah, we would rather watch this garbage than go support your film. That would be fantastic. Remind me of that a year from now. Hyman says, I haven't seen Tully with Charlize Theron. Have you seen it? I have not seen it. I'm not a huge Charlize Theron fan. I'm not a huge fan of her overall, of her work, but I heard good things about it, so it's one that I might watch down the line. Super says, Nicholson's Joker was amazing. I agree. Him and Heath Ledger are by far some of the best performances that we've ever had. Eva. Welcome to my house says, a movie called The Three Michaels and The Three Michaels and Michelle. Yes. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Episode 9 comes out December 2019. So not this December, but next December. So a little over a year away. Lando Calrissian, The Room watch party. Now that would be the perfect troll. Yes, we should watch The Room the night that Star Wars Episode 9 comes out and be like, yep, Lucasfilm, this is what we think about the current direction of Star Wars. We would rather sit here and watch the best, worst movie of all time than anything else. Though at that time we're having fun because we're watching a really good movie. Maybe we should watch a terrible movie. Hyman says, Catwoman versus Last Jedi versus The Fallen Kingdom versus A Good Day to Die Hard. Oh, God. Captain, I got to go Catwoman. Catwoman is worse than all those films. And I hate all those movies, but Catwoman is by far total and utter garbage. Because at least with those other films, you could say that there's something nice to look at, or there's one nice thing I could say about this film. I cannot say a single nice thing about Catwoman. Mark Hamill, Joker. Yes. I would love to see him a live action Joker. April 2019, game is on. CW says, if you want a really bad movie, Pocket Ninjas. What? Tell me more. Mex says, the one thing I was entertained by Charlize Theron, she was a great judge on Top Chef, and they were serving feasts to mark the release of Snow White and the Huntsman. Oh, God, Snow White and the Huntsman. You will do this for me, Huntsman. That was her acting. I respected Tim Burton for films like Edward Scissorhands and Ed Wood, but his Batman threw a man down a hole with a bomb tied to his waist and blew up a factory. Well, yeah, it happens. It happens, man. Captain, my captain, says Frank. Yes, thank you very much, sir. Kegger says, 14 months to the greatest anti-episode 9 watch party ever. Book it. Book it now, guys. Put it in your calendars. Elektra was just as bad as Catwoman. Elektra was bad. I agree. Not as bad, but bad. 70B says, has reported Heimdall is dead. Wait, what? No. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't turn. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. Guys, in my rush to try and jump on, the stream, I unfortunately forgot to turn Heimdall on. So let me go ahead and do that because I want to make sure you get your cookies, guys. I'm going to miss some chats. So if I missed your chat, please feel free to post it again. But I do want to try and get Heimdall up and running. I totally forgot to turn it on. So that's my bad. It's my B, guys. All right, Heimdall should be on now. All right, let me just scroll down. Again, if I missed your comment, please post again. Zeke says, Odin just saw Venom critics were wrong. Yeah, Zeke, let us know, man. Let us know. Hi. Come on. Good girls. All right, I've been joined by the puppies. Love you. Have a good night. Thank you. Oh, I've been joined by the puppies. Hyper says, long have I thought of Willem Dafoe playing the Joker for a while. Oh my God. Willem Dafoe would be perfect. Like, I love, and I'm so excited for Joaquin Phoenix, but Willem Dafoe would be fantastic. Kraken says, the stream should have told us respect to Ben Affleck by watching Live by Night. Live by Night, the movie destroyed his soul. Yeah, that's a good point. It's my puppies. Super says Catwoman versus 60s Casino Royale versus Snow White, The Legend of Hercules versus Batman versus Robin versus Twilight. Ooh. Catwoman. Because at least Batman and Robin is funny. I'd put Twilight as a close second. And then the rest can go where the hell they want. CW says Pocket Ninjas is a knockoff of Three Ninjas, but vastly more confusing with next to no direction or focus. Yes. Oh my God. Three Ninjas, guys. Three Ninjas is one of my favorite films going up. The Ravens are loose indeed. Especially the black one. Puppies Night Freya. Yep. Hybrid says, I've been meaning to ask favorite Bond movie, Casino Royale. Daniel Craig's Casino Royale. I know there's some people who say, oh, no, the classics, but I haven't really ever watched all the classic Bond films all the way through. So out of the ones I've seen, Casino Royale is so good. It's so good. Skyfall, close second behind that. Skyfall is fantastic. Hey, come here. Come here. Hi. Hi. Come here. No. No. I don't like being on camera. Here's River. She's a sleepy baby. Do you see yourself? Huh? Do you see yourself in the camera? Thank you. Appreciate you. Jai Courtney is the top 5 worst actors. Terminator Genesis destroy me. Jai Courtney is awful. You're right. Pokefan, when will the Super Showdown review post on Sports Wars? I have no idea, Pokefan. No idea. I know. Look at River. She's so cute. Matt says, personally, my favorite Bond films are Thunderball and Skyfall. Skyfall's so good. Let me go, Dad. Happy puppies are free puppy is what I think. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. There you go. Willow, come here. Willow, come here. Willow, come here. I'm not going to hurt you. Hi. Hi, my name is Willow. Peabody says, Daddy, don't put me on the camera. No hair, no makeup. Oh, thank you. You're moving my microphone. You're moving the microphone. Hi. Hi. Forced photo bombs. Zero says, there are too many to pick from Bond, but I will say Timothy Dalton is way underrated. I agree. Timothy Dalton's fantastic. Tina says, the High Council said Ryan Gosling is dating somebody. Anyone else know who? Ooh, he's dating someone. Yeah. Rub my belly. That's what she's saying. Rub my belly. Rub my belly. Hey, Stephanie B, do not put any ideas into her head. She will leave Rose alone. All right. Hey, I love you. Can I get a kiss? I know. You get nervous. Oh, thank you. All right. Max says, really, River really is adorable. You need to keep a close eye on that one. It's always the best ones that don't expect, the ones that will break your bedroom and kill you. No, for her, it's just that she loves to tear apart furniture. Hybrid says, I'm gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna hurt you real bad. Who cares? Cute dog. Thank you, Willow River. Best pooches. My dream pet would be a tiger, but dangerous. So tigers aren't dangerous is what you're saying? Is that the basic tenet that you're trying to get by? I almost stuck that by all. 70B, I saw that. So, Kragan says, Space's new movie, Billionaire Boys Club, made a great box office reveal. Made real Avatar numbers. It made $618. Dude, well, Spacey's law dictates that all he needs to do is come out and say, I'm gay, and then it'll make $10 billion. Yeah, seriously, who cares about... Is that what they're really talking about on the High Council? Why are they talking about that nonsense? They need to bring me on so that I can bring balance to the High Council. They're going to be talking about stupid dating advice. Ugh. Frank, how is Mom's Dachshund doing? Yeah, I didn't know if anyone was going to ask the question or not, but yeah, our puppy, Ginger, she passed away this morning around 5:30. She went peacefully in the night. I know that my mom is going through a very rough time, so I really do appreciate anyone that prayed for her, because obviously she and my dad are going through a rough time because we had her for 14 years. You know, she went through Katrina with us. She went through 2 other dogs on top of that as well, and it was very, very hard on them. So thank you so much for checking in. But yeah, unfortunately, Ginger, our little little fat a little fat sausage wiener dog, passed away again. She was around 14 years old. And so yeah, thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate you reaching out and asking about it. But let's get back to it, guys. Michael, I meant, but they are dangerous. My slippery fingers. It's okay. Tina says, because they're all over the place right now talking about good actors, bad actors, overhyped actors, and why is there another Charlie's Angels? Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, yeah, it's, it's sad, unfortunately, if I could do one thing, if I could change one thing, hey. If I could change one thing about dogs, it would be their lifespans. Super says, oh, I'm sorry to hear. My condolences to your family. Dogs really are the greatest. I mean, it's always hard to lose one, but it's part of life. It's kind of what you take on when you get a pet. That that you're gonna outlive it in most situations, unless you have a parrot or some kind of bird that's gonna last till they're 70. Hera Coleman says, my dream pet would be Chuck Wendig. Only problem is bark would be so much bigger than his bite. Oh, that's so true. That's so true. Mex says, if you want to get back at your parents for any teenage rage, now's a good time to trick them to see Marley and Me. Mex, no. I see what you're trying to do there, Mex, but not the right time to make that kind of joke. Yeah, not the right time to make that joke. But I understand. Don't worry, I'm not like offended or angry at you. I just, Kraken says, we need a Kick-Ass 3 and a Hit Girl solo film. Possibly. Could be worth looking into. All right, guys, we did just hit the hour mark, so we're going to start to wrap things up relatively quickly. Let me just make sure nothing's going on elsewhere in the world. Sweater Your Dread joined the Discord server. I know who Sweater Your Dread is. He uses it as a title all the time whenever we do the review games. Meg says, plus Cuck Wendig would be really hard to potty train. That is very, very true. That is without a doubt one of the truest statements you could possibly ever make. River, come here. River, come here. Leave it. Come here. She knows I'm about to pick her up, and so she immediately goes like, I'm going to go flat on the ground, Dad. Please leave me alone. Yeah, In Disguise. That sounds about right to me. Hyper says, it run from its destiny still arrives. Michael says, episode 9 is going to flop like a jelly on a wet mattress. Nice. Mr. Pete! How's it going, bruh? How's it going? In Disguise says, she's no longer a little girl. Super says, real quick, must have answered this, but curious, what do you think? Who do you think could be the next Bond? Top picks are Elba, Cavill, Hiddleston, Sam Hahn, Heon, and Jamie Dornan. I like personally Cavill and Elba. Cavill and Elba would be my top out of that list for sure. For sure. Hyrate says, the hardest choices require the strongest will is probably my favorite recent quote. That is a very, very good quote. For sure. All right, guys, so we are going to start to wrap things up. But before I do, I'm going to go ahead and pull up on my screen one more time. A huge thank you once again to all of my patrons. You are all amazing people. Seriously, guys, I really do appreciate you supporting the channel, giving me advice, joining me in the Discord whenever I get on the patron-only channel. It's always fun to talk to you guys. You're all amazing. And also a huge shout-out to everyone who's been helping me with this PC. Parts are going to start to come in tomorrow, guys, so hopefully they come when I'm home and they don't say, oh, you weren't home and you couldn't sign it. I wasn't able to release that, unfortunately, so hopefully I'm still able to get them all by the weekend, so that way I can do a proper build on Saturday. I'm going to live stream building my PC on Saturday. But a huge thank you to not only Sensei Mike, but also to all the people that donated to the fund that's listed in the video. As you see the bar below, we went far past the $1,000 goal that I had, so now any extra money that we get is going to go to other things, like, for example, a chair, an actual comfortable chair that's not going to hurt my back as I do live streams, and also other things like possibly a monitor or other things to that nature. So I just want to thank you guys so much for being so supportive, for you guys also for giving me help and advice, teaching me the ways of how to build a PC, figure out what parts I need to get, all of these things. I could do none of this without you guys, so I want to just say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for being so supportive. And I do have a few questions for any guys who are knowledgeable of these things, especially Dion Soul. If you're still in the chat, if you want to jump in the chat, the voice chat for like a few seconds, I would love to hear your final thoughts. But anyway, huge shout out to Adam Shawhan, Castellan Fry, Dave Bob, Donald Hudson, Edward Coleman, Enrique Evangelista, Frank and the Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan, Greta Z, Harold Francis and Flame Wood, Jay Clark, Jamie Christopher, Jeffrey Toon, Laura Story, Matthew Cadish, Mr. Peabody, and his evil twin, Perpetual Punster, the DJD Show, those two ball guys, Tina B, and Voorhees67. You are all amazing, 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 amazing people. I love you. I love you guys. Please, if you have not done so already, go check out the High Council. They are a great group of guys. Yes, the chat is insane, and it's still, though, a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun over there, and I pray and hope one day I will be invited to be there over there as well, because it sounds like it is a lot of fun. So anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Have a great night, and as always, God bless. Check your cookie counts while you can. Unfortunately, this hour doesn't count because Heimdall was not active until just about 10 minutes ago, but still, thank you so much for watching. Super. You have a good night. Tina, Stephanie B, Brad, Dave Bob, Pokafan, Kegger, Edward Coleman, Mr. Pete, Shawhan, all you guys, Mary, you're all amazing people. Have a good night. And seriously though, thank you so much again for your thoughts and your intentions with my family. Please do keep my mom, especially because I know that she's hurting, especially. She was very, very close to that puppy. So thank you so much, guys, and God bless.